You know the vibes. www.daymcomic.com, DAYMCOMIC.com. Click the link below. Order your comic books right now. They're dropping in a few months. Don't be without one.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It is another Tuesday, and we are going to talk about Ghost Season 2, Episode 2, written by my incredible friend and great writer, Monica Mitchell. Hi, everybody. All these people are joining. It's so great. I'm so happy to spend this time with you guys. Just very exciting. Hi, Power TV fans. Hi, Stacey Muhammad. I'm waving. Hi, Crystal. At some of, some people that I definitely talk to. How you doing? So I wanted to start with one of the questions that was sent to me in advance by Hype Dev, who asked, what was I doing before working with stars? So this is actually a really helpful question because people always ask me how you get into the business. So before I started working at Stars, I worked at CBS for a while. So I was on The Good Wife, which now has its own spinoff, The Good Fight. And then I worked at Hawaii Five-0 for a brief period of time. And so I was doing kind of procedural TV, legal stuff, and so I love that. By the way, next week, I'm thinking we might have a little bit of a drinking game for every time someone says, is Ghost still alive, or bring back Ghost, we might have to do a shot. We'll see. We'll think about that, but definitely something that needs to come back, needs to come up, because we might have to all drink together. Okay, but yes, that's what I was doing before Stars. I was working my way up in writers' rooms as a writer on a staff, not as I wasn't a showrunner before this. I got my big break at Stars. So let's see. Let me see if there are any questions that I need to answer in the feed. Okay, no. All right, so I'm going to go on to the next one. Let's see. Will Tariq catch another body? My friends, you know Tariq. What do you think is going to happen? I don't even have to tell you, right? I don't have to tell you at all. Oh, hi, Peyton. Hi, Monica. Let's see. Okay, so Peyton Ashbrook, who plays Jenny Sullivan, has entered the chat, as has Monica, who wrote this script. Let's see. Hi, David Knoller, producer from the first 2 years. Let's see. Break down selfless acts. Sure. Actually, I think that's a great question. So obviously every episode this season has a theme, and we're talking about, is any selfless act like really selfless? Like, what do we do it for? Even if we are of service to someone to make ourselves feel good, or we do something for someone that we love. And I think one of the things that we're we're wrestling with this season is Tariq capable? Is he a selfish kid, or is he actually someone who's really bent on being of service to others? And it goes back and forth. So you see this with his sister and how he becomes completely obsessed with taking care of his sister. This is going to drive him a lot. One thing that I want to just remark on that's consistent is that Tariq is always doing for others, especially for women. His relationship to his mother has kind of made him a person who tries to take care of female members of his family. So that's going to come up. And females in general, which will come up with his ladies later in the season. Okay, so, all right, let's go here. Since you are the writer for Netflix, are you done writing for Power? I'm still involved with the Power universe, but I've now moved to Netflix, and that's where I'm going to be actually writing. Brett Mahoney has taken over as the showrunner of Ghost for season 3, but I was the showrunner of Ghost for season 2, which is why I'm here with you right now. Okay, so let's see. What gave you the idea to write Power, and how long did it take? And that's Power Verse. And I will just tell you, Power, the original, came out of the death of my dad. And meeting 50 and kind of combining their stories and the things that I was inspired by. I had to write about the death of my father. I was compelled to do so. And for those of you who know, I'm not sure that you know, but my brother just passed away. And so again, I'm compelled to write about that and to do those, to struggle. And some of what I was writing about unconsciously, I think, with Tariq's love for his sister. My brother and I were very far apart in age. He was 10 years older. And so I think some of that protection and care is still in this season. So let's see. Okay. Let's see. Tariq talks about making it out without being dead or in jail. That's S. Robertson 04 asked, Will we see that take shape in season 2? It's interesting, actually. It is both Tariq and Tasha who think Tariq is capable of doing so. We're going to see a lot of things take shape. Hopefully, and I'm really hoping there's another question about how long Ghost will go, book 2 will go, and I hope that we have enough room and Stars sees fit to keep the show on the air, because I had a whole idea of how that happens and how Tariq moves forward into his destiny as a man. Why do Lorenzo and Mecca look alike? Because Monet has a type. Let's see. What do Monet and Mecca have going on? You have to keep watching. Why would I tell you? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you anything. Let's see. Okay. Were Cain and Tariq working together with the drugs being switched? No, they were not. That was Cain moving on his own. And what we're trying to show this season is that Cain is actually learning from Mecca. Mecca is teaching him some lessons, and we're trying to bring out that more intelligent side of Cain. Cain was kind of, and there's actually a question here that I wanted to talk about, where someone asked about why Cain was still living with his parents. It's a really interesting thing because that's a family business. So it's not the same development as other people have. Other people have to leave home in order to like expand and have that great growth and learn what career they're going to do. Cain doesn't have that, right? Cain has a family business and he's part of the family. And I would argue that he's really under the sway of his mother, that's an emotional connection that he can't really just dip out of. So that's why he's at home. Who said my hair was banged? Ms. May 20th. Thank you very much. What can I say? Today was not today and kinky curly custard, literally. That is like old school, got to get that nice glycerin going. Is Effie and Diana going to hook up? That is not in the plans. That's a little bit of a, I guess that's a spoiler, but no, Diana is interested in Tariq specifically. Okay. Why we don't give Tariq a car in the show? I've actually seen people ask this question a number of times, and I thought, and that is Hawk Vision. Hawk Vision, I will tell you why we didn't give Tariq a car in the show. The first season we didn't, because if you are a New York City kid, why do you have to learn how to drive? Like, if you actually live in Manhattan your whole life, you don't need to learn how to drive, and that's real. And that people from the outer boroughs, they do drive. But if you live in Manhattan, you don't really drive, and that's just the reality of it. Plus, Tariq's 14 to 16, those years in our story are kind of compromised by him not being home. So he doesn't actually have an opportunity. Tasha and Ghost send him out of town for his sophomore junior year of high school. They send him to Choate. So he's really not home to learn how to, we really thought about it. I'm serious. But this will change. Things are going to change in season 3. Okay, let's see. Okay. R.I.P. my brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Do we meet Ghost's brother this season? Not going to answer that. You guys are so sweet with all the condolences. I appreciate that. How many seasons of Power Book 2 will there be? That is up to Stars. And you guys, you have to keep watching it and keep having us have groundbreaking big records, because that's what keeps it on the air. There's never any real science to this. I think a lot of times people think that it's up to us how long things run. That's never true with any writer. So, Karma Corleone the Dawn, I love your name, by the way. Tariq got to see Braden's family doing the same thing Ghost wanted for him. Now, this is a smart viewer, by the way. I'm just going to give you just huge kudos. This is what's interesting and what we're trying to kind of construct, right? Braden sees all of this love and attention from his family as a kind of a prison. Tariq has no family. Now, is that partially Tariq's fault? 100%. But Tariq has no family, so he doesn't have this exact same view of that. But also we are talking, as always, about race and what it means to be white and black and still have money. And I think Tariq is still privileged. He's a privileged kid. He grew up with money. Let's not make a joke about that. And one of the things that we talk about in the writer's room is that Effie does not come up that way. Effie has a completely different life, and she is by herself. So you've got these nice gradations of where everyone is. You've got people like Diana and Braden, who, while they came up different ways, come from a family, know where they're coming from, know what the family is about. We actually made the Tejadas and the Westons very specifically at either end. This is what it is to be a Weston. This is what it is to be a Tejada. In the middle, you've got Effie and Tariq. Tariq, who's an orphan by circumstance, and Effie, who you'll find out more about, but it kind of has to rely on herself. And that leads me into which female character would I personally, this is Aaliyah Dene, I hope I'm saying that right, Aaliyah Dene. Which female character would I like personally to see Tariq end up from a viewer's point of view? Well, you said from a viewer's point of view, so I'm not just a viewer. I do believe that each of these girls, each of these young women, represents a different part of who Tariq is, but I don't think Tariq is integrated yet. I mean, that's the journey. He's not a man. He's still a young man. Does Tariq come to the realization that Yaz is in a foster home due to his actions? Well, now, do we like to realize our mistakes, or would we much rather put those mistakes on other people? Tariq, again, he's 19. He's not a man yet, so he still has to figure out, those things. Let's see. Okay. Who will Tariq be with, Effie, Diana, or Lauren? That's the same kind of question. And I mean, different times, different days. All right, let's see. Who dies? Come on, man. Come on. I'm not going to tell you who dies. Why would you watch the rest of the season? I'm not going to do that. Okay. Kwaku Daryl asked me, what do I do for fun? I'm really into skincare and beauty and hair products and natural hair. I'm really into astrology, psychology, recovery. I've been reading Lala Delia's book, Vibrate Higher Daily, which has been really amazing. I just started reading Young Pueblo. I don't know, I just try to aggregate more things about getting to a higher vibration and being my best self. And sometimes you have to make some tough decisions. Even 48 hours ago, I made a really tough decision to exit from a situation that wasn't going to work for me. And I think it's like just being healthy, putting yourself first. That's kind of what I do for fun. That doesn't sound like fun. I like board games, and I can beat you in Uno. Whoever you are, I will beat you in Uno. So at some point, if you want to play, I got you. What is my lip color? This is Bobbi Brown Deep Crayon, which they don't make anymore, with a Pat McGrath lip gloss, and I don't remember which number, but I am forever looking for the perfect nude. I know every African-American woman who is watching this, or Latinx woman who's watching this, is like trying to find the perfect nude. I'm always still looking for it. Okay, so let's see. What's Lauren's story other than just a love interest? Wait. Let's see. Will there be a big surprise this season, Tony Blake, that we didn't see coming? Here's what's going to happen. There will be a big surprise, and all of you will say, we saw that coming, because that's what everybody does. But it'll still be a big surprise. Okay. Will I be involved in Ghost Season 3? Zishkanakan 2002. I'm not saying your name right, but I'm trying. I was involved in Ghost Season 3 up until the end of October. So we started that writer's room in May. So I did like the season arc pitch and sort of the broad strokes and went through the character arcs and stuff while I was still at Stars and Lionsgate. Okay. Let's see. Am I still interested, Corey J31, am I still interested in developing a story about a gangster turned addict redemption story? I think I am more interested these days in writing about female lead characters a little bit. I don't know if you were implying that this is a male. You didn't give me a gender, but I think I said this last time, but it's really true. I've done a lot of hiding behind Ghost. You know, I haven't actually written as much about myself as I could, and I'm not saying that you guys are interested in me specifically, but just in things that inspire me and are, you know, more sensitive issues. I think I just haven't written about those. And it's easier to write about guns, to be honest with you. It's just easier. Why is Monet hesitant? Jedi Hawkins, love your name. Why is Monet hesitant to let Diana make her own choices, even if it means taking on a larger role in the business? This is actually super important, and I think a lot of people online are always like, why is Monet so hard on Diana? Okay, so Monet has made a lot of mistakes in her life, some of which will be revealed this season. You guys are already starting to see a little bit of the fact that she has a past that maybe her family doesn't know about. Monet is trying to protect Diana. She's doing it not necessarily the correct way, because that is the fallibility of parenting. Every day you make decisions as a parent that you're like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? but you try your best. And you can also not be parented that differently, from the way you were parented. You're trying to parent differently and you're making decisions. I think Monet wants Diana to stay a virgin. Monet wants Diana to kind of do what she says because that's what she thinks will keep her protected. We all know that our mothers, our parents have different wishes for us, but we have to make our own mistakes. So this season, Diana will make her own mistakes for sure. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. Big fan of Paige Hurd. Paige Hurd Love 101. Please inform us upon her becoming Lauren and casting her. I found out that Paige Hurd was a fan of Power Book 1, and I went to go get her. I literally had to go get her. She was on the Oval, and I was like, please, 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 is there any way that we can have her? Because I just think she's dope. And by the way, she is dope. She's an amazing human being and great person. Okay. With Dirazak Ahmed 1, just some constructive criticism, maybe ease up on the police presence next season. Okay, so I want to explain something about stakes. Okay, so if you are creating a television show of any kind, you need to have stakes, whether it's like a silly comedy like Frasier, whether it's something that has a little bit more meaning or it's relationship stakes. But stakes are the answer to the question. And TV's Randy Huggins, who created BMF, he puts this so eloquently, and so I'm going to use his version. What happens if the character doesn't get what he, she, or they want? You always have to have an answer to that question. So what happens if Tariq doesn't get what he wants? Well, what he wants is to be free, right? So you need to have the stakes of something like that. So what we always talk about is you want to hear the Jaws theme music when you see a police presence. You want to hear na-na, 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 na-na. So this person who's asking me to ease up on the police presence, I think maybe, I don't know if you just don't like the police characters or what, I don't know. But what I will say is when you structure a television show, especially in the world of crime, to not have the police be an antagonist is kind of missing what happens in real life. Plus, a lot of our characters are black and brown, and so, yeah, cops, what? Let's see. Will there be a pregnancy? It wouldn't be college life and someone didn't. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Is that necessarily something that always happens in college? Okay, let's see. Will Tariq and Cain be on the same page? Nope. Okay, absolutely not. Okay, Pro 290. Can you become a screenwriter without formal education? You absolutely can. In the same way that you can learn to sing a song without reading music, which means that you just have to read enough scripts, learn, and if you want people to read it, you want to get Final Draft or one of those, or Movie Magic, just a screenwriting software so that your formatting is right. But in terms of needing a formal education, no, you don't need it. You don't need anything that the man tells you need to do what you need to do. Not at all. I will say that for some people who do not look like me, the fact that I am super educated helped them understand why they could trust me with a TV show. But that does not have to be your path, especially now. Remember, I'm in my mid-40s, so I came through during the 2000s and early 2010s. People were a lot more suspicious of what we could do as people of color and as women. But no, you just need a good idea and an excellent execution, and nobody can tell you that you need a formal education for that. Absolutely not. Okay. Why did Ghost drive an Escalade? Because that's what we could afford, Justin 21. Okay, let's see. Can I talk more in depth about each of Tariq's love interests? Real quick, I will say that Lauren represents the part of Tariq that wants to go straight, wants to go kind of be a person without this other baggage. Like, he wants to be a college student. Diana represents this idea of Tariq kind of, I don't want to say like on a pedestal, but this idea that Tariq could be the world's best drug dealer, right? The world's most amazing drug dealer, the smartest one. And then the sort of Effie thing is, Effie's kind of in between, right? Because Effie is a Yaley, bula bula, to all my friends who went to Yale. But she is someone who's super smart. She's getting a robotics degree, and she's also in the game. So it's everybody's on a continuum. Let's see. Why is Tariq acting like he don't want Diana? Because her mom is crazy. Hello? Come on, you guys. Have you met her mom? Have you met her mom? Okay, let's see. All right. Do Carrie and the detective have a personal connection? Yes, they used to be sleeping together. All right. Can book 2 go for 9 seasons? I'm up for it. I would be up for it too. Brett might be up for it. You got to contact stars. Let's see. That was wvxy.kk. I'm not going to even try. Okay. Why did the original Power end? Were the ratings going down? No. The original Power ended because there was no more story to tell. I think I've said this before, but like you can't tell infinite story. At some point you get to the point of diminishing returns where you just stop being able to tell any good story. And then people are like, well, this is whack now. And I didn't want to get that. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to get to that place. So I wanted to shift and tell other things. Let's see. IB Dungus says, I'm loving the show. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's very nice to get a compliment now and again because I get a lot of people saying, you're whack, you're the worst writer of all time. There are a lot of those people who say that to me. And I'm always like, okay, but how do you know that? You must have watched something that I wrote then. So cool. Why was Big Mama made an alcoholic? Muchilla asks. Okay, so Muchilla, I don't know if you remember from season 1, but of Power. But we were always doing a story about how Ghost was a dry drunk. He was an alcoholic who was not in his cups when we first met him. And obviously, he turns in season 5 and really starts to drink after the death of Raina. Well, we wanted to make sure that Tasha's path to marrying him made some sense. Okay? So this is a little bit about what happens in your household and how you unconsciously go and seek that out. So that's part of it. But the other thing is, let's just call it the real. She's alone with a young kid. Anyone who's a single parent, her daughter's gone. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on there that for her, and she's lonely. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of things. I'm always writing about addiction. Let's see. Oh my God, you guys, we would be so drunk. There are so many people asking for Ghost to be alive. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe we should really do this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should really just... Because I wonder how this live would be if I was actually doing shots. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do it doing shots, but I'll encourage you guys to do it. How did I think a Power verse... Oh, I answered a question of yours already. Let's see. What is Maddie Luther King Jr.? That's funny. What is Braden's brother's issue with Tariq? Well, let's see. I think part of it is that Trace he can't categorize Tariq. Like he wants to call Tariq certain names or think that Tariq is a certain thing. Tariq is not that. So, I think that's hard for Trace to navigate. I also think Trace likes to be the one in control of Braden. And, maybe he's not right now. Does Diana remind Tariq of Tasha? Dexter Cumberbatch, love your name. Yes. I'm going to say yes. Will Redman be a recurring character? Nikki Boom Boom 32. Yes, he will. Okay. Rock ODTB. I feel like Effie is Kanan's daughter. Why is everybody always trying to make everybody Kanan's kid? Kanan had a kid. It was Sean Stark. I don't know why that is. So, but anyway. Okay, let's see. Okay, all right. How do Carrie? Oh, Jay Monet. How do Davis and Carrie know each other? Oh, that's a great question. I hope we fill that in enough, but in case we don't fill that in enough in the dialogue, when Carrie was in the prosecutor's office, because she was a DA prior to becoming a law professor, she actually slept with Davis when they were on a case together. She is a naughty, naughty girl, but that's kind of what she does. And Davis is here for it. In case you guys haven't noticed, Davis is down. Davis is absolutely 100% down for all that. Let's see. Is Monet Kane's biological mother? Yes. Let's see. Okay. Are Effie and Tariq similar to Tommy? Coach K, Fun, FTN1. Are Effie and Tariq similar to Tommy and Holly in that they are the perfect match? Wow, I hadn't thought about that. I hadn't thought about that question. It's a really interesting question. I I wouldn't consider them that because, well, I mean, I guess there's some similarities. I didn't plan it that way. That's not some structural thing, but I like the idea just because Holly was kind of out for self in some similar ways, like Effie. But, you know, they both couples reflect certain things. I think what is specific about Tariq that's not like Tommy is that Tommy was very committed to the life. Let's see. Okay. Stars, power, heaven, nah, I'll beat you at Uno, Courtney. You will not. That's not going to happen. I mean, it is what it is. But Creole_re, I'm an aspiring screenwriter and I just lost my father 3 months ago. How do you push past to write? I'm having a tough time writing now. Let me get real present with you. Your father would want you to write. That's the first thing. You have to know your parent wants your highest potential. So then you dig in. So for that. But also what I do when I have a competing narrative in my head, I keep a piece of paper to my right-hand side that I can write on, okay? So when I wrote my first pilot, it was a voice that said I wasn't good enough. My first pilot is not something you guys ever saw. And this was the first pilot I got paid for. It was Power. But the first pilot I wrote that was not, I didn't get paid for, was something you guys haven't seen. Anyway, I wrote next to it, there was that voice in my head that was like, you're terrible, you'll never pull this off. And I would just write that dialogue and then I would fire it. So in this particular case, if something is talking to you and saying like, I can't get through this, I can't get through this, I can't get through this, or however that pain is coming through, you must pay attention to that pain. You can't ignore that pain and push past it. You have to push through it. So if you can, you know, try to get that piece of paper, and whether it's your right hand or your left hand, and do that physically. Write that out. Don't type that. That's my other thing, is like physically connect to what you're feeling and write it through. Okay, let's see. That leads really well into McKeel, DC Bread. Can you write anywhere at any time? I always have paper and pens with me. I'm super annoying like that. I'm like, you know, your mom with tissues in the bottom of her purse, but instead it's like a paper and pens because I have ideas all the time. And I try to write all the time. If it's too loud, I can't. But let's see. Okay, Shane P. the Mogul, you're awesome and a huge inspiration. Do you have shows coming out that show Black people in a better light than the typical street life? Okay, this is a great question. I have been trying very hard to get some of those shows on the air. And it's been interesting to note how there's a reluctance to see us in a different light. And it is actually really interesting because obviously I don't come from that background. I love my characters on Power. I love writing about the life. I'm not taking anything away from that. But the reason they let me put this show on the air, let's not joke. The reason that they let me put the show on the air in the first place was that it matched with what some people think of us already. I'm not a fool. I understand perfectly that some of this is about the comfort of people. And I know that, and I've been very fortunate, but now that I've got a bigger platform, yeah, do I want to show us doing something else? Yes. Do I want to show us having joy, being in boardrooms, doing things that are not necessarily about the life? That's why you see me push characters like Tate. You see me push characters like Carrie. I mean, Carrie is foul in her own way, but she's a law professor. You know, you see why I had to push this show specifically into the university setting. So I think if that helps you understand, I get it and I'm pushing. Let's see. Someone said, I'm not going to answer their question. Writer's blockage. What is the question? Is it about, you're right. If it's about Ghost, no, I'm simply not going to answer that question. I mean, you guys know I'm not going to. So let's see. Tariq is too young to run a whole nightclub. Devontae Huntley says, I'm not sure that was happening. Was that coming out? What power book will Elisa Marie return? Okay, A.M. McDonald, 38. Can I just tell you, I would love for Matea to come back. That would be very exciting. It would be super exciting in any of the universes. But the fact that you're asking about any of the shows is very, very smart. Why did I choose to make Carrie the suspect? Goat Boat 2 says. Because naturally, that's what would happen. The person that's sleeping with the person who has no alibi is the person that's gonna. I mean, they don't know what we know. This is something that I think is always so interesting. The cops in the show are only in the scenes that they're in. They don't see everything that you know, so they don't know what you know. So they can only go on traditional police pathways. The traditional police pathway, when somebody shows up dead, is who were they sleeping with? Who do they owe money to? Like, these are like all very basic questions. And so I think that's really important just in general. Why did they get to Carrie? Because Carrie kind of had a motive. They just don't know enough about him yet. They will definitely know that. Miss Bad 527, will I ever work with Don Shay again? Would love to see her in a leading role. I would totally work with Don Shay again. I couldn't work with her again while we were doing the Power Universe, obviously, because her character is dead. Okay, let's see. Why I say nope to your question like that? Son. Okay, let's see. Okay. Let me go back to these. Okay. BHop_93. Who will have the most dramatic death this season? Why would I answer that? I love that you guys are asking these questions. A few of them are still very, a few of these deaths are really dramatic. Really, 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 really dramatic. Oh, when you guys say Ghost never dies, do I mean that Ghost is regret? This is a good question from Power_TV fans. What's up, guys? Let's see. Oh, no, it's from FW Ream. I'm sorry. Well, what we mean is that, what I mean on the surface level, and I'm not talking about the deep level, but on the surface level, is that people never leave our consciousness. And again, I'll just say it again. I'm writing about my dad, right? I'm writing about my relationship with my father, so I'm writing about my dad. So what does that mean? It means that he's still here, he's still present. It means that he's still talking to me. It also allows us to play with magical realism. You guys know that ghosts are coming. When Cain shows up, or when other characters show up in Tariq's point of view, you're not surprised that we're trying to tell a story about being connected to grief. My whole story from the beginning has always been about grief in different ways. So, you know, I think that's something that is present, and you're always talking to these people. Did Carrie and Mclean used to sleep together? Yes. Okay. If the admire nay, if Davis doesn't trust Sax, then why are they working together? Hang in there. You're going to find out why Davis thinks Sax is of such utility. Because he thinks that he can use Sax. Remember how Davis works. Okay, I'm going to do a few more questions. Let's see. Okay. Which character will surprise us the most this season? Quay Yug M is asking me which character will surprise us the most this season. That's a great question. I think it might be Effie. Effie is dope, man. Effie is super dope. Like, one of my favorite characters of all time. Okay. John Modello 5 asked, surprised Diana is asking Effie for help. Wouldn't you think she knew the game a little more? She's going to Effie not for the schooling of the game per se. It's about independence. She's looking for independence. She's looking for that, I guess, that guidance that she can't really get from her mother, because her mother isn't going to guide her into being a woman. Her mother's going to keep her a little girl, and we've seen that. But I think that's kind of where that is coming from. Let's see. People really want Tariq to have a car. I love it. All these non-New Yorkers. Okay. Elki Gemaya asks, will Tariq's life essentially become like Ghost all over again? Tariq is going to have to make that choice. I mean, we all have to do that. We all have to figure out how not to. Thank you for saying my hair looks amazing. I love that. Am I going to give Tasha her own show? I'm a young god. Tasha's on a show. She's on Queens. It's on ABC. Go watch it. Naturi is busy. She's busy working. Let's see. Okay. Why don't Straight Vibes, I don't know, says, why don't y'all write Yaz to live with the Tejadas and Diana to look after her? That would be good. Well, I guess if you want Yaz to be a drug dealer, absolutely. But we know how you get raised in the Tejada household. Okay. Queese Council asked, did Tariq permanently burn the bridge with Tommy? Will Tommy help him out in the future? Okay, so this is a great question. The way that we wrote it, because we didn't know how Force was going to lay out, the way that we wrote it was to give us some openness around it. What I can definitely tell you is that Tommy he's not let go of his feelings about Tasha and what she did by naming him in court. Tariq, he will not, he had that moment of like, he could have killed Tariq, but he chose not to because of his word to Ghost. So I don't know how that's going to work. Gary Lennon is the new showrunner of Force, so we'll see what he wants to do, and how to push that story forward. But I don't know. I don't know if their story is done. I don't know if their story is done. Ronus Pune, I love Mathis Davis, me too. Let's see. What happened? Oh, Vladimir Redmond won. What happened to Simon Stern? Victor's on another show. That happens sometimes. I had a lot of questions last week about Laz Alonso, and someone said to me, I got like a comment on my feed that was like, "You're a dumb writer. You're bad. Where's Laz Alonso?" And I was like, "He's on The Boys, son. Like, it's not like that. We don't always have all the choices. You know, not all the things in our arsenal. I mean, I will give you guys. I'm sure you guys know about this, but we had to kill Lobos off." Literally because Enrique Murciano was on another show and we literally could not get him. We couldn't shoot more with him. So the choice to kill Lobos when we did it happened because of his schedule. Very similar thing with Anika Noni Rose. She was cast on a show called The Quad and we had to, we weren't going to be able to get her for the rest of the season. We had big plans for season 4 for Jukebox to stay in New York and, you know, really, for lack of a better way of putting it, fuck shit up, but we couldn't do it. Sometimes that happens and that's the reality of the business. But I do think that it's always people think like, oh, we didn't write for them or we didn't ask them or we didn't want those things to happen. And that's not the case. Let's see. Someone is paying attention because they know that Nisa Gates is paying attention. Yes, Davis's wife's name is Marilyn. Yeah, Julio's death is really hard. Mecca is not related to Lorenzo. Let's see. Who killed Julio again? My memory has blanked. Well, Dre set him up. That's the most important piece of that. Okay. Let's see. Lucita Ellie says, it's really weird, but my life is like Tommy's as a female. Would you do a season on a woman? I actually am no longer making seasons of Power, but would I tell a story about a woman in the life? Absolutely, but that would be on Netflix. Let's see. Let me ask a few more. Knockout Goddess, why is Monet low-key hating on her daughter? Is it low-key? I feel like it's high-key. Okay. Will we be seeing more of light-skinned Keisha outside the classroom, says Uncle Caesar. Uncle Caesar, I love your name. I would love to put light-skinned Keisha in everything. I think she is amazing. She's hilarious. She's so funny. She's so committed. She shows up. She's super professional. I fell in love with her off IG and was like, she has to be on our show. She's dope. She's amazing. And I would love to have her be in more. This past year was a little difficult because of the pandemic. We couldn't actually get as much. Remember, all that you're seeing now was shot last year and into the top of this year. So, you know, it was difficult with quarantines and things like that. Hey, Sor, Chris White, right? Let's see. Okay. Real quick. Before you go, can you answer where Tommy is between 6:13 and 1? Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that separately. That's going to take a while to go through. King of Seven asked, will Tariq set up Cain to take the fall for the murder of Jabari? You need to watch. What I will just tell you is, why should you trust Cain? That's probably a bad idea, right? Should you trust Tariq? Probably a bad idea. They shouldn't trust each other. They're both bad ideas, both of them. So yes, exactly. T from Brooklands, will young Tommy and Ghost be in this season? Oh my goodness. This is another one where it's like, I don't even know if you do 2 shots for people asking about young Tommy and Ghost. I think I've said it multiple times, but yeah, we, Raising Kanan, just again to go through the timeline. Kanan is 15 in the first season of Raising Kanan. He's 16-ish as he's going into the second season. Just so you guys are fully aware, when Kanan is 15, Tommy and Ghost are 10 years old. I want to be really clear about that so that you guys are aware that that's not necessarily coming right away. They're in 5th grade, guys. They're in 5th grade. Okay. Quiz Council Effie asking Diana if she's even smart was hilarious. That was one of my favorite lines in this season, actually. Are you even smart? It's also the way that Alex Lepre says it. Alex Lepre is so talented, you guys. All my kids, I love them so much, are so talented. I love them. Ooh, where is Ghost El Jefe? 2 shots. Okay, let's see. Does Mecca have a beef with Lorenzo, says Ovo_Dev. Well, watch a couple more episodes. You're going to see. Okay. Devontae Huntley, will Holly's body ever be found? I hate that she's just rotting in the ground and just being ignored. You're going to have to hate that more. You're going to have to continue to hate that, I'm afraid. Okay. Shout out to Woody. Absolutely. Woody Mclean is so talented. He's so crazy talented. These guys, these people are so talented. Okay. It's 5:40. I'm going to do 5 more minutes and then I'm going to go. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. Any other questions that I really want to do? Okay. Is there anything else? Is Mecca Ghost's brother? Does Davis need Sax to help his brother? I think someone's paying attention. Someone is paying attention, yes. Someone has asked NYC.KD, why haven't we showed Truth Nightclub? For those of you who are close watchers of the Power universe, in the end of Power Book 1, Tasha actually gives Truth away. It goes into Tariq's trust, but she actually gives it to Simon Stern. That's why you haven't seen it. Okay, let's see. Is Effie going to sleep with Braden? Does Braden seem like her type to you? I'm just asking. Like, does that seem like who Effie wants to be with? I'm just not sure. Jen with that voice, is Braden going to start going hard like Tommy? You know, Braden and Tommy are not the same character. It's been really interesting that people keep trying to make them the same. They're not. They're really different. Darker Man, to be honest with you, Courtney, the moment Ghost died, I lost interest in Power. Question for you, sir. Why are you here? I love you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I see you. Cool. Got it. Again, shots. Okay. Right. Bring Ghost back. Oh, shot. Am I so trendy? Am I ever going to make an appearance? No, I am not Hitchcock in any way. I have no interest in being on camera. I barely want to do this. I barely want to be on camera on IG. But I think it's so important that I connect with you guys and you guys get to ask questions because they're not doing Inside the World. It's so important that someone be able to tell you guys like what's going on behind the scenes. Let's see. Okay. Are Tariq and Braden supposed to be the new Ghost and Tommy? No. Do I know what Tariq's character development would be when he was young? I'm surprised by him coming to the forefront. Alina Lorraine _W asked that. I believed in the actor. From a very young age, I would see Michael Rainey, and he was just so amazing. Oh my God, hi Jesse. And so, he was amazing. He was so spellbinding. And I will tell you, there were a lot of people who doubted him. I mean, people who really were like, he cannot carry a show. And I was like, you don't know him. You're just seeing his race. You're not actually seeing his preparation, his abilities. You're just not seeing it. I mean, I'm telling you guys, it was straight racism. People kept saying to me, he can't carry a show. That's not the same thing as people saying, I hate Tariq. That's a different thing. I hate Tariq. I don't want to watch a show about Tariq. Fuck Tariq. That's different. That's real fans who are having opinions. That's not the same thing. I was told multiple times, Michael Rainey cannot carry a show. And for me, that was fuck you. Yes, he can. I know this kid. I know what he can do. And I will stand in front of anybody creatively that I love and take the bullet for them 100%. And so I just believed in him. And here we are at season 2. So, will Reek and Braden get a show? This is their show. Let's see. Okay. I miss Jukebox, Power Fan 227. I do too. Okay, so I'm going to end with a last question, which came from Angelica _Ox. And she said, what inspired you to create the Power universe? So I'm going to answer this as not the same question as what inspired me to create Power, because that's a different thing. We've talked about this, about, my dad and 50 and all those things. But what inspired me to create the Power universe, that was about Power's coming to an end. Nobody wanted it to end. And how could we continue to tell stories? And I just thought, I'm so influenced by Kevin Feige and the Marvel universe. And I just thought, we have enough characters to do that. If I had known in advance that we were going to do a universe, there are 2 or 3 characters I wouldn't have killed off. So I'm going to give you guys an exclusive. And I'm going to say this. If I had known we were going to do a universe, there are 3 characters that I would not have killed off. This is how we know that I didn't plan it in advance. The first one is Lakisha. I would not have killed Lakisha off. I would not have killed Proctor off if I had known. And it's tough to say, but I think I might, this is going to be so random, but I think I might have potentially kept, if I had known we were going to do a universe, it's possible that I would have kept Black Donovan alive. I know that sounds strange, but we don't have a lot of connection to the old universe, and Ty Jones is such a tremendous actor. There could have been more that was done with him. But yeah, I think I probably would have kept those people alive. I know that the Rotimi Dre death was really satisfying, and so, I wouldn't say him, but that character had a lot of utility because he went back and forth between every character. So that's it. I think that's it. And we're at 5:45. Hammer Bake, he said, if I'm no longer in Power, why am I here? Again, I was the showrunner for season 2, which is what we're here to talk about. And we're all done. So thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time. And take care.
PlaceTheBest.com, guys. Are you tired of crapping out on sites like Fanduel and Draftkings? Go to PlaceTheBest.com. Set your fantasy lineup. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey. They got them all. They'll set your lineup. 30 days is only $1. You can go, you can sign up right now. That 30 days is only $1. PlaceTheBets.com and get that Skrilla. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and please check out my podcast at anchor.fm/AkariPress, or just type in Akari Press on your favorite streaming platform today.